Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. On this video, we're going to be exploring Logansport, Indiana, which is located in Cass County. It is located towards the northern middle region of Indiana. It is located by the Wabash River. It is 24 miles northeast of Kokomo, Indiana. It is an hour and 60 minutes or 70 miles south of South Bend, which South Bend is going to be the largest city that's going to be located closest here to Logansport. And then, of course, the second largest city is going to be Fort Wayne, which is an hour and 35 minutes from here. Now, the population here is currently sitting at 18,366 people, and the population is down by 0.2% as of the 2020 census. The population used to be 18,396 people back during the 2010 census. And for the most part, this city has been losing people since the 1970 census, except during the 2000 census, which at that point the population was sitting at 19,684 people with a population growth of 17.1%. Now, as far as it goes for a little bit of history of the city, Logansport was first settled in 1826 and named after James Logan, a Shawnee warrior. He's also known as Captain Logan, who served as a scout for U.S. forces in the surrounding area during the War of 1812. Logansport was designated a Preserve American Community in 2009, and basically Preserve America is a U.S. government program intended to encourage and support community efforts to preserve and enjoy the country's cultural and natural heritage. Now, I was hoping to find something a little more in depth about this program, but unfortunately I didn't. I mean, it seems to me in most cities you go to, you can do the same thing to those cities as you can to cities like this one that are actually on that list. But let's keep going. Now, Logansport, Indiana does have a fairly large presence in the art culture. I mean, they have the Mack Hill Performing Arts Center, which is located by Logansport High School. And some of the events that they hold at this center is, they have the Winter Fantasy Production, which is held there annually. They have several musicals and live performances as well. And some other events that they hold at this place is, they have the annual fine arts competition and shows, the black and white show in February, the youth art show in March and April, fine arts in May and June, and photograph competition in October. And also, you have Logansport has the annual Arts Festival, the largest in the northern Indiana region, which is held at Little Turtle Waterway along the Wabash River. Now, back to some more information about the Logansport art scene. Now, Logansport has the oldest art organization in Indiana, or otherwise known as LAA, founded in February of 1911 that began in 1894 as a neighborhood art club that offered art as a neighborhood art club. Now currently, what's now known as the LAA. I mean, they offer art classes, show opportunities, art supplies, and they also hold a host of other special events for the community. And some other events that goes on in the city. I mean, you got the Mid-Flory Jazz Festival. And for those of you that don't know who Mid-Flory is, he's a jazz musician, well known from Logansport. He was also an actor. He lived from August 27th of 1926 to March 12th of 2014. And other events that go on here in Logansport is you got the Taste of Cass County, which is held in August here in downtown. You got the Art of Avenue held the second Saturday of September. You got Downtown Spooktacular, which is held in October. I mean, it's one of those Halloween type of deals. And then you got Light Up Logansport in Downtown Christmas Open House held the Friday evening after Thanksgiving, which basically is supposed to bring in the Christmas season, the Christmas spirit. I mean, I know for me, this cold ass weather up here would be enough to bring in the Christmas spirit. I'm just saying. I mean, I've been a little spoiled the last couple of years that I've been in Alabama, where around this time of the year, typically it might be around 60 degrees or so. But it is what it is. I'll be all right. And as far as the infrastructure here, I mean, you got US 35, which runs northwest to southeast. You got US 24 business that runs east to west. You got Indiana 25 that runs northeast to southwest. And as far as the public transportation, you do have the Cass area transit system here. And the closest airport, which is going to be an international airport, is going to be in Fort Wayne. And as far as the job market here, I mean the largest industries here that are going to employ the most amount of people are going to be healthcare, manufacturing, food processing, and warehouse. Now, I used to name off some of the companies that specifically that were in these areas, but I figure rather than doing all that, which, you know, some of you could care less who the companies are, I figure I would just tell you guys the major industries that are located here. That way, like for an example, if you've always done production work, you've always worked in factories, and that's what you know how to do, is what you desire to do, and you're watching this video for an example of Logansport, you know that chances are if you move here, you'll be able to find a job in your prospective field. As where if you're into, I don't know what example to give you, but from now on, whenever it comes to the local economy / the job market, rather than name companies, I'm just going to name industries. I think that'll be a lot easier for most of you to be able to comprehend. And if you still want to live in Logansport, I mean, some of you may not want to live here. Some of you might just want to come and visit, which is perfectly okay. But for those of you that are looking for a place to reside, or looking for a new place to move and call home, I mean, when it comes to violent crime, the violent crime is well below national average. Your property crime is, I gotta calculate that real quick. I wrote down the numbers, but I didn't bother to compute it. So let me get that done real quick for you guys. Give me a second here. All right, the property crime here is going to be it's going to be about 68% above national average, which is not the best in the world, but again, it's not the worst in the world. So your property crime is sitting at about 68% above national average. And as far as the racial demographics, it's 67.5% white, 2.2% black, 2.1% Asian, and 27% Hispanic. Now, when I drove around Logansport to record this video, I honestly thought that the racial demographic when it came to the black population was much higher than only 2.2%. I mean, I was thinking that it would be something more like 10%, but I don't know, I guess it looks to me deceiving. Or maybe this data is not correct, I don't know. Now, if you're looking to rent an apartment here, your median rent prices are $640 to $1,050 a month. Your median home price, if you're looking to purchase, is going to be only at $118,000, which, I mean, I think those figures are a little low. But the way that the housing market is going, I think ultimately that figure might be back to being accurate at some point again. But I think right now as I speak, 118, it seems a little low. Now, the cheapest house I've seen here was at $72,000. And I would say if you don't mind living here in the hood and you don't mind having to, on top of that, do a little bit of repairs to your home, then there are homes here for sale for as low as 70-some grand. Now, I would say if you're looking for something that's decent in a, if you're looking for something that is decent neighborhood-wise, decent in terms of the condition of the property, I wouldn't go much lower than 130 grand. So that's, that's where I stand for when it comes to the housing situation here. Now, to me, I don't know. I mean, like, as I drove through and I recorded this video, I would say Logansport reminds me of, I would say it reminds me of a smaller version of Elkhart, Indiana. Because, I mean, one thing I notice about here is a lot of your houses are bigger. A lot of your streets are, they're wide. I just think Logansport is a interesting city. I think the way the city's laid out is interesting. I think the engineering of the streets are interesting. And I would say for the most part, I mean, me personally, I don't think I would live here in Logansport. Not because it's a bad place to live, it's because it's just not my, Logansport is not my cup of tea. I'll just put it like that. I mean, even though the population here is only sitting at 18,000 people, I mean, to me, Logansport is one of those cities where, although the city is small, you still you know, at least for me, it has a big city feel. I don't know if I'm making any sense to anybody out there, but to me, Logansport has a big city feel. I mean, it does have quite a bit of traffic, in my opinion. And maybe the big city feel comes from the mixture of a lot of traffic and just the fact that many of these streets are wide. And another thing I don't like about this city is you do have a lot of one-way streets. Like the majority of your streets downtown are one way, and I don't know. I'm just not a fan of all that. But yeah, Logansport, I don't know. I mean, it could be a good place for people to reside. I mean, it does have a lot of nice neighborhoods here. Housing prices, for the most part, are fairly affordable, and you got decent amenities. And this city does appear to have a decent, does appear to have a decent culture. But for me personally, yeah, I couldn't live here. I couldn't do it. And again, it's not because it's a bad place. It's just because it's simply not my cup of tea. And all right, folks, that's all I got for the commentary. So, uh, hopefully you got something out of it. And as always, feel free to chime in below. And on that note, enjoy the rest of the video. And stay tuned for my other video of Logansport. All right, stay blessed.